Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. Welcome back all my lovely regular viewers, and if you're new to my channel, welcome. So today's set is a cute little koala set done with Glitterbels Acrylic, and the colour that I'm using is Koala. So I'm going to start off by sculpting out the nails, and I'm using my CJP butterfly forms, which I absolutely love, and then I'm just going to sculpt out with glass slippers from Glitterbels. So all the acrylic I'm using today is from Glitterbels as usual, because you all know how much I love Glitterbels. So I'm only going to show one or two of the nails being sculpted just to keep the length of the video down, because I am doing hand-drawn nail art. It does take that little bit longer, and I never like the videos to be too long for you guys. As I'm using my Handolly today, I have had to put some sellotape around the fingernails, or the fingers themselves, just so the forms have something to stick to. And now what you can see me doing is I'm cutting the forms just to get a really snug fit, so that the forms go right under the nails and they're tight. You don't want a gap whenever you're placing your forms, because the acrylic can then go underneath. I know that there always is like a small portion that goes underneath, but you don't want that gap to be too big, or it's literally going to be like a cliff underneath. So I'm going in with glass slippers. I place my bead just where the join, just before the join of the natural nail and the form, and then that is to make contact. I brush upwards just to get the acrylic contacting the nail bed area, and then I work on the rest of the free edge. So I'm using the belly of my brush just to pat and pull that acrylic down to the length that I want. And once I've done that, then I will start to move up to the nail bed area. I'll place it around the apex and the cuticle area. I'm not going to be worried too much about doing the apex at this point. I just want to make sure that it's nice and stable and that the structure of the nail is good, because I am going to be putting acrylic on top of it, and then I will cap it in clear, and then when I'm capping it I will sort out the apexes, etc. So you can see that when I pick up a bead of acrylic, I then drain out the excess liquid that's in my brush, just so that you've got more control of that bead of acrylic when you place it on the nail. If you've got too much liquid in your brush, there's a tendency that that bead of acrylic is going to slide into the nail walls, and if that happens on a client, then there is a chance that their nails will lift. So moving on to the middle finger, and I'm going in again with that large bead of acrylic. I have just placed it more or less where the nail form meets the nail bed. And again, well, here comes Ralph. You can hear him before you see him. Yeah, so I'm using the belly of my brush just to pull that acrylic down to the length that I want them. I'm not really doing these ones too long. I think I'm bringing them down to a number 7 on the form, but there will be will give me some room to file and shape them as well. You can see as well that I'm using the sides of my brush just to make sure that the sides of the nails are nice and straight. And because I'm going to be doing kind of like a coffin shaped nails, you can see that I'm actually trying to create the shape on the form, which will cut down the filing time at the end. So I'm going in with another bead, and I'm putting that up at the cuticle area, and I will bring that right down over the rest of the acrylic just to make sure that the nail is nice and secure. As I'm sculpting these nails out, I am going to pinch them, but you do need to wait until the acrylic has started to cure, because if you pinch too early, you're going to damage the sides of the nails, and all that acrylic is just going to be pushed up to the side, and you'll not get the effect that you're looking for. Just to keep the length of the video down, I went ahead and I filed and shaped all my sculpted nails before I went and placed any more acrylic on them. So I'm starting out on the middle finger and I'm going in with Snowdrops White, and I'm just going to do a line right down the center of the nail, and then I will use my little cutting tool and just straighten up that line before I place any more acrylic on the nail. So I'm adding just some more bits of acrylic because I want to try and get it as smooth and consistent as possible so that there's no obvious lumps and bumps in this. And then I will use my little cutting tool once it's started to mattify, which it has. So it is way too thick at the minute, so I'm just going to cut away a good little bit on each side, and then I'll go in with my e-file and then my hand file just to sharpen it up. Oops, so you can see that this bottom part of that line, I actually went in too far with my little cutting tool. So I'm just taking that bit off and I will reapply more acrylic just so that it's nice and straight. Never be one of my videos without a whip, say. So now that I've replaced, I couldn't get that out there, the bottom part of the Snowdrops White on this nail, I'm going to jump ahead to the next stage. The next stage would be to just cap this white line in glass slippers so that any other acrylic I place on the nail is not going to interfere or disturb the straight line that I've created. And while I'm waiting on the glass slippers curing, I'm going to move on to the pointer finger, or the index finger as some people call it, and I'm going in with the Koala. So you can see by looking at the pot of acrylic to the right hand side, it is really pale, but once you mix it with the monomer, it does seem an awful lot darker on the nail. So it's like a beautiful soft grey and it flows really well. There is a really deep C curve of these nails because they're sculpted and they were pinched, so I'm just making sure that the Koala colour is completely covering the whole nail. And I've placed another little bit up at the cuticle area, and you can see it literally has dried so quick and it's like just stopped. So I've had to add just another little bit just to blend that in and make sure that it's nice and smooth. Onto the ring finger now, and this is going to be another full cover of the Koala, and on this nail this is the one that I will do the hand painted drawing, the nail art, the hand painted nail art. I really do swap and change all the time whenever I'm working with coloured acrylic. Sometimes I'll start at the cuticle area, sometimes I'll start at the free edge. It just goes to show that there isn't any right or wrong way to put acrylic on. As long as the nails are being covered and it's nice and smooth and you're happy with it, it doesn't really matter what way you start, whether it's on the free edge or the cuticle. Onto the little finger now, and I'm going in with Snowdrops White at the cuticle area. This is going to be an ombre nail of the Snowdrops White and the Koala. So I'm just blending it down halfway down the nail and making sure that it's nice and feathered with where the ombre is going to be. Sorry, I just had a bit of fluff right in the middle of that there, so I'm trying to get it out quickly before it starts to cure. Back now until the middle finger, and I'm going in with my little E-file bit, and I'm just sharpening up that line so whenever I put the koala on either side it's going to be nice and crisp. Once I've finished with the E-file, I will go in again with my hand file just to make sure that it's completely straight. Okay, so now I'm happy with that straight line. I'm going to go in with Koala and I'm just going to work it down both sides of the nails, and then I will file over it before I cap them because I want to make sure that it's really nice and smooth. So you can see whenever I'm placing the koala on the sides of the nails that some of it does go over the white line. I'm not worrying about that because I have capped it, and then I'm also going to go in with my hand file anyway and just file over that just to make sure all the lines are nice and crisp. Back again now to the little finger, and I'm going to go in and do that ombre with the koala. So I'm taking a really wet bead and starting at the free edge, and I will just continue to work that up towards the Snowdrops White. I do end up placing another bead just to get the ombre how I wanted it. Back now to the middle finger, and before I cap the nail, I'm going in with my e-file just to make sure that all the lines are really, really nice and crisp. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cap all the nails in glass slippers. I'm only going to show one or maybe two of them just to keep the length of the video down, because I am aware that this is a longer video than normal. And again, to save some more time, I did all the filing and shaping off camera, and I'm just giving them a wipe over with some alcohol just to remove any of the dust and debris. And then I'm going to go in with a little gel glitter from Brillbird. It's one I haven't used before in any of my videos, and it's so nice. You know, sometimes you've got so many different products in the salon that you get so caught up in the new products that you buy, and then whenever you go back and use some of the older products you've had, you actually forget and go, oh my goodness, you know, why haven't I used that before? But as you can see, before I do all that, I have my usual little fight with the striping tape. This is, oh my goodness, striping tape and rhinestones are my, oh my goodness, they are so hateful for me. Oh my goodness, can you actually see just how this is working for me? It is so frustrating. So I actually just skip ahead to whenever I've got the striping tape already placed, because either that or it was going out the window. Finally got it all on, and now I'm going to go in with that little glitter from Brillbird that I was telling you about. It is such a really, really soft glitter, and I'm definitely going to use it so much more, especially at Christmas time. I think this will be absolutely amazing. So I'm just covering over I'm going to cover over the pointer finger, the little finger, and just down that white line in the middle finger. I'm leaving the ring finger completely blank because that's the one I'm going to do the nail art on. I went ahead and applied all my top coat. So I applied Glitterbels No White top coat on all the fingernails except for the ring finger, where I applied my matte No White top coat, because I always, whenever I'm doing any form of nail art, I always prefer to do them on a matte surface. The nail art gels that I'm using today are from Canny, Mystic Nails and Model Ones. And of course I'm going to use my new detailer brushes from Glitterbels. So I'm starting off with the grey gel paint from Canny, and I'm doing the whole outline of the koala bear. Then I fill it in with the grey gel paint with a small gel brush. I'll flash cure it for 15 seconds. This way I can go in and I can add all the details and do all the different sections of the koala bear by outlining everything in black. And then I'll do some shading and add some different colours just to give it an overall better look. Now that I've went ahead and flash cured the grey, I'm going to go in with this little beige colour, and I'm going to just add the details of the inside of the ears and the little belly. I did originally bring out my Your Sugar black gel paint, but I've decided to go back in and use the model ones. I prefer this. It's so much more darker and it's easier to blend whenever you're doing any shadows, etc. So I'm just going to outline all the different areas. So I'm doing the head, the ears, the feet, etc. Then I will blend that just to shade it, because I don't want any harsh lines showing on the koala bear itself. You can see at the minute just on the head area, the outline that I've done on the head is very, very harsh. So I'm just taking that little gel brush and I'm just blending it in towards the center of the head, and that way it's going to give it a more realistic look. It's going to look like it's got shadows, etc., and it just gets rid of all those harsh lines. Now that I've blended the outline of the head, I'm going to go in and create the outlines of the little feet and the belly area, and I will do the same with my little gel brush. I will blend all those so there's no harsh lines. Now I'm going back in with that little beige coloured gel, and I'm just creating the centre of the feet. Just before I flash cure everything, I'm just going back in with a little bit of acetone on my gel brush and just making sure that there's no harsh lines at all before I cure it. This is one of the things that I like about using the Model 1's solid cream gel paint. It doesn't move, so you can literally put it on the nail, do whatever you need to do on the nail, and then you can cure it. It's not going to move out of place or anything. So now I'm going in and doing the little nose. So it's like a a very, very soft rectangle. You don't want to have any harsh lines or sharp edges. And just to continue adding the detail on the face, I'm going in with the little smile. So I'm doing 2 half circles on either side of the nose, and then I'll create the smile from one side to the other. Doing the eyes, I'm just using the smallest detailer brush and going in with all black, and then I'll go in with my dotting tool and do some white highlights. So just to give the illusion of some longer fur, I'm going in around the ears and just the top of the head and just adding little brush strokes which will look like hair. To do the white highlights in the eyes, I did go in with my little dotting tool, but I realised that it was too big. So I went back in with the smaller of the detail brushes and just placed 2 different dots within the eye just to give the illusion that there's light reflecting off them. I've mixed some of the black gel along with some top coat just to give me a more kind of watery black, so that whenever I go in I'm not going to have any harsh lines when I'm starting to add more detail. And just to finish the little koala off, I'm going in with some of the pink solid cream gel paint from Model 1s, and I'm just going to do his rosy cheeks. And the only thing left to do now is just to apply my non-white top coat. Because it's nail art, I always prefer to have them as like a matte finish. Once I'd done that, I kind of realised he needed a little bit of colour, so I went in with just some more of the candy gel paints, and I've done just like a little eucalyptus branch with some of the leaves on it, just to brighten it up a little bit. And here is the finished set, guys. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, you know what to do. Give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, you could go ahead and do that now. And I will see you all in the next video. So take care. See you soon. Bye.